In October 1973, the world changed in a way that most people didn't see coming. It wasn't a stock market crash or a bank failure that kicked it off, but a political decision thousands of miles away. During the Yom Kippur War, members of the Organization of Arab Petroleum Exporting Countries proclaimed an oil embargo against nations that supported Israel, most notably the United States. To understand the impact, you have to look at the global economy in 1973. The industrial world was running on cheap, abundant oil. Western nations had become addicted to inexpensive fuel to power their factories, heat their homes, and run their massive fleets of gas-guzzling automobiles. When the embargo hit, the supply of oil to the US and other nations plummeted. Almost overnight, the price of a barrel of oil skyrocketed from about $3 to $12. This wasn't just a minor price hike. It was a fourfold increase in the cost of the single most important commodity in the world. The immediate consequence was visible on every street corner. In the United States and across Europe, long lines of cars formed at gas stations. Many stations simply ran out of fuel, leading to rationing systems where you could only buy gas on certain days based on your license plate number. As energy prices spiked, the cost of manufacturing and transporting goods surged. Companies passed these costs directly to the consumer. For the first time in the post-war era, the developed world faced a terrifying economic phenomenon that textbooks said shouldn't happen: stagflation. Stagflation is the ugly combination of stagnant economic growth and high inflation. Traditionally, when an economy slowed down, prices stayed flat or fell. But here, the economy was shrinking due to high energy costs, while the prices of everyday items were climbing rapidly. Workers saw their paychecks lose value every month. The purchasing power of the average household was being eroded by rising costs, while jobs were becoming harder to find because businesses were struggling to keep their operations running profitably amidst the energy crunch. Central banks were caught in a bind. If they raised interest rates to fight inflation, they would stifle growth even further. If they lowered them to boost the economy, they risked runaway prices. This period of uncertainty lasted for years, haunting the global economy well into the 1980s. The crisis also forced a permanent shift in how industries operated. Automakers, particularly in Detroit, were caught off guard by the sudden demand for fuel-efficient vehicles. This opened a massive door for smaller, more efficient Japanese cars to enter the American market and capture huge market share. Nations began to treat oil not just as a commodity, but as a matter of national security. Strategic petroleum reserves were established to ensure that no single political event could ever cripple a country's entire infrastructure again. The 1973 crisis broke the illusion that economic prosperity was infinite and solely dependent on the status quo. It forced the world to acknowledge the fragility of global supply chains and the massive power that energy producers hold over the global political landscape. The lesson here is simple: when the price of a fundamental input like energy shifts drastically, the entire economic machine must adjust. Whether it's the oil crisis of the 70s or modern shifts in energy, history proves that control over resources is, and remains, the ultimate lever of global power.